Oh no, it's really hot in here. I mean, hi, hello, and good time zone, and what is up, gamers? Hi, everybody. Welcome on in, friends, and hello. I first of all, I let me say hello to the people what are in chat. Hello, Turnip. Welcome in, Mesh. Thank you very much for the hydrate. I will sippy this cold coffee if that's okay. Um, Not paint water, even though it is fresh water because I just got it. Also, your face is cute. Anyways, but okay, I'm gonna switch over. I'm gonna switch over to art camera now. Sorry, I'm a little chaotic right now. But I just wanted to get a sense check from chat as to how disruptive having the fan on in the room is, and whether or not it makes the stream unlistenable. Because I feel like it's picking up a reasonable amount, at least according to the little, like, colored stripey doodah that tells me how loud I'm being on stream. I'm seeing it sort of around... hovering at about -40, which I feel like is not nothing. So yeah, if it's terrible, please just let me know. And I will attempt as best as I can to cope without it. And or I could try and turn the gain down a bit, but that will probably make me a little quieter as well. Heck. I turned the gain up because people kept complaining that not a lot of people, but like 3 people complained that I was that my stream was too quiet. So I was like, okay, let me see if I can turn the gain up on the mic without like ruining the stream. And then it was picking up like the wind blowing outside super bad. And like this is a good mic. This is a good mic. I don't know. I don't anyways, let me just okay, hold up. Hold up. Bear with for just a second. I'm going to mute for just a second and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. I actually don't know what I just did. I think I just turned the gain down. I think I just turned the gain down. So I might be quieter, but you also might get less annoying. Fan is the fan. Hold on. Let me go. Say goodbye to the technical difficulties song. Is the fan worse? Is the fan worse now, or is it okay? Hopefully it's all right. But if it is genuinely like stream breaking for anyone, if they're just like, white noise, I can't bear it, just let me know and I'll switch it off. But it is currently on as much as it, and I'm gonna be real with you, it's not even doing that much. It's not even doing that much. I am just caked in like a permanent sheen of sweat. I've had to basically place it over, the furthest place I could put it from the mic is on the floor. So it's mostly blowing onto my legs, and the head and face and like upper torso are super hot and sweaty. But here we are. Okay, anyways, hopefully I sound fine. If I don't sound fine, hopefully you haven't all just like rage quit the stream. I don't actually know. This streaming software doesn't tell me how many people are viewing the stream at any given time, so I never know if I'm just speaking to no one. which is great. Anyways. Hopefully it's fine. I'm gonna take it as read that things are okay for now and that we can work on our Pride Moths for Pride Month. But as I say, if anyone has any major issues with the audio visuals, beyond just like, your art sucks, which I can't change, but you can change by watching a different stream, I'll do my best to accommodate people because I want y'all to feel comfortable and good hanging out in here. With all that out of the way, I'm going to take this I bought this paintbrush a while back. I basically bought a couple of like backup paintbrushes. I think just because I wanted to buy something. I don't know. But I haven't used either of these paintbrushes for any painted projects yet because I'm like, oh, well, it's basically a replacement for this. And I haven't needed to replace this yet. And I hope I don't have to for a while. But I have a backup if it dies. I'm going to use this backup to stir my tea, because I want to get these, I put some ice cubes in it to make an iced tea, and I want them to kind of melt down into it so that it's, so the whole thing is real nice and cold, because that's a vibe right now. This little scramble boy's got to hydrate. I'm feeling like I've lost a lot of fluids, just like sublimating out of my pores today. How is everyone doing? How are y'all? I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful, magical, majestic, and gosh dang delightful Thursday. It's Thursday. That's the day that it is today. Oh, Biddle boy. Anyways, I had a dream last night that I was at some, like, street food, sort of covered market type place. I was going to get a coffee. This coffee place was really cool. But, like, the menu board was impenetrable and hard to see from, like, the counter. So I was trying really hard to figure out, because I was like, normally when I go to, like, a coffee shop, I get, like, a milky espresso drink, like a latte or a flat white. But this seems like the kind of place that would do a good, just, like, filter coffee as well, so maybe I'll get like a pour over or something. That might be really nice. But I couldn't see any of that on the menu, but I could see that they had like pour over, like filter brewers and stuff, and I was like, I don't know how to order this if it doesn't say it on the doodah, but clearly you can do it. Is it like a really poorly guarded secret menu thing? I don't know. And it was really stressful, and I don't remember whether or not I ever actually got any coffee. And then I went outside for a bit, and I could see there was this really cool area that had, like, these really cool old signs and stuff on the sides of buildings and, like, weird old billboards and stuff, and I wanted to take photos of them because they looked amazing. And it was, like, golden hour as well. So if you don't know, golden hour is, like, prime photomographical time because the lighting is just, like... It's that time when, like, the sun is quite low, you know what I mean?
Attention.
Just before... Twitch user,
Never mind, we've got right.
Shoppers.
Hello? Hello? Welcome in, Vero. How was your stream? It's lovely to see you. Welcome on in, and thank you so much for the raid. Hello. What are you up to today? I'd love to hear all about it. Hello, friends. Let me get a shout out for you in the chat. If I can spell correctly, that would be super awesome. But yeah, if you don't know Hell Angel Vero, you should go give him a raid right there. Give him a follow even. A follow. I know what words are. Listen, words are hard, okay? Anyways, thank you so much for the raid. I hope you had an amazing stream. What'd you get up to today? I'd love to hear all about it. And as always, if you would like to pay the art tax and there's anything you would like to share with the class, BRB gotta pee. Fair. Go piss, girl. That is a vibe. Well, have a nice break, and thank you again for the raid. Flamarian, thank you very much for the hydrate. I will take a sip of my nice, delicious iced coffee. Oh my god, it's so good. This coffee is delightful. It really is. It's giving, how shall I say? It's giving, like, hold up. It's giving Cocoa Pops with a hint of citrus, but like in a sophisticated way. That's what it's giving. It's really delicious. Anyways, Vera says, today I caught up on a backlog of doodle redeems from like 3 months back. Oh, nice. Congratulations on the productivity. We love to see it. As always, we are an art tax optional stream, but if there's anything you like to share with the class, whether that's something that you were working on today or like a link to your socials or whatever, you can whisper that in my direction. I'd be very, very happy to share it with chat. But if not, no pressure, no worries. Absolutely. It's all good. For anyone who's just come in, hello. My name's Twitch user Sammy Kelch. I'm a variety streamer. I do cozy art streams on Mondays and Thursdays. I do cozy game streams on Fridays, and sometimes instead of an art stream on Thursdays if I'm feeling extra crispy. Today we are finishing off these Pride moths. that I have been working on for Pride Month. I'm having a fun time doing them as well. Please note that I couldn't decide what color to make the body of the Rainbow Pride one down here, so it is shimmery. It's the whole rainbow all together, making a beautiful glitter experience, which I think feels appropriately fabulous for the very special month that it is. And yeah, anyways, I'm a watercolor artist. I do have if I finish this really quickly, and it's seeming like that's probably not going to happen, but if I finish this really quickly, I do actually have I also drew some Pride Mothmen that if we don't get to today, we'll do on Monday. These are my little Mothmen. They're dating and they're at a pride parade, so yeah, that's a thing. Anyways, so that's what we're up to today. But once again, if you're not following here, let me get another shout out for you in the chat. Wholeheartedly recommend. You should go do that right there. Anyways, these pride moths are all based on actual moths that exist in nature. So I used a lot of references of existent moths, mostly UK moths, but not all of them. But this was based on a hummingbird hawk moth, a mint moth, this was an emerald moth, a brimstone moth, a magpie moth, a burnet companion, and an elephant hawk moth. Oh my god, y'all, shoot, I can't show you, because the picture is housed on the thing I'm using to camera this right now. But I saw a really beautiful moth on Tuesday this week. It was a scarlet tiger moth. I don't see those very often here, so it was really exciting to get to see a scarlet tiger moth fluttering about. And I took a photo when it came to rest near me on the pavement, and it was so pretty and so lovely. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a moth enjoyer. I just think they're neat. But yeah, moths and cryptids together. So like, it's the whole Mothman. Oh my god, Samantha, are those pride moths? Oh, that is so stinking cute. Samantha's just put some very cute little what look to be pride moths in chat. That is so stinking cute. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. They are pride moths. They're so cute. Apologies to anyone who can't see the emotes in chat. It's very, very cute. Shoot, is the link dead? Vero, could you whisper that to me? Could you send me a DM? My links tend not to work in chat, and I don't know how to fix it. And I don't ever remember when I'm off stream and I can. I'm so sorry. But yes, I would love to share. Anywho, in the meantime, I should probably figure out what paints I need today. I'm just bringing out all of the palettes because I need all of the colors for this. Where's my good purple? I think this is, yeah, probably this one, which is the most rainbow selection of colors of these. These are Japanese watercolors, by the way, from a London shop called Choosing Keeping, which I love. And I visit just about every time I go to London, and it's real dangerous because it's super easy to spend money in there. But you know, it's nice. It's nice. Do recommend. But damn, everything they sell is super nice, and they have those like massive sets of Gansai paints that have like dozens of paint pans, and they up into the hundos of pounds. Are they beautiful paints? Yes. Are they just too rich for my blood? Yep. Turnip says, I've started buying Gansai watercolors. It's all a certain streamer's fault. Oh no! Oh no, Turnip! JK, I love them. I regret nothing. Good. And so you should not regret. Did I say how's it going, Samantha, by the way, when you came in? Because how's it going? It's wonderful to see you. I was distracted by the majesty of your, of the little moth emote. Anyways, okay. I have some artwork from Vero, so let me get set up to share it with y'all. I would like to see it. So let's have a little look-see. Oh my god, I love it! Oh my god, that's amazing. Okay. You're going to briefly see my Instagram. Apologies for that. It is how the doodah is set up. So here's Terry, who wishes you all a happy Pride. But just as importantly, here's something that Vera was working on stream, and I love it. I love it so much. This is so good. This is truly beautiful. I have never seen anything that captures the experience of like, I would say like just the artist experience. I feel this in my soul and I love it. This is delightful. This is delightful in an absolute mood. Listen, if they were wearing like a pajama top that has little dogs all over it, that would look exactly like me also. This is perfect. Yeah, Turnips is the expression on that is amazing. Genuinely, I love this. It's so good. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And once again, if you are not following the lovely Hell Angel Vero, you should go do that now. I don't know if it'll let me shout out again because there's a cooldown period, but you can just go click on her username and do it right, just like that. Anywho. Oh, there's more. Wait, there's more. There's more. There's more. Hold on. Can I get it to... Hold up. Hold up. Bear with. I'm gonna see if I can get it to... load, because I would love to see. There's more. There's more. Hold, please. Hold, please. Your streamer is being extremely broken. Hold up. Okay, am I copy-pasting the right thing? Let's find out. And, oh! That is a very different vibe. I love the compare and contrast between these. This is the other one. The compare and contrast between these two artist vibes is so good. I love it so much. That is indeed more fancy. Oh my goodness. I love your little hat. You would fit in so perfectly in, like, 15th century Florence in this. I love it. And also the painting of the skull that you're doing is amazing. Very, very on brand. I love it. I love this so much. It's really, really cute. Aww. Aw, congratulations on being one of the old Renaissance masters. That's awesome. Very cute. Very good. Thank you so much for sharing again. I very much appreciate it. I love seeing the amazing things that other people do. It's so inspiring. I just exist in quiet awe and mild professional jealousy, but like in a good way. Don't worry. Anyways, thank you again. Okay. I'm gonna do one last stir of my tea, because I think all of the ice cubes have melted into it, so it might actually be cold now, which would be really nice. I don't cold brew my tea, I just brew it hot, and then I brew it hot and like very concentrated, so I'll make like half a cup of tea. Like I'll fill the mug halfway up, brew it for a really long time, and then just fill it up with ice cubes when I feel like it's been brewed long enough. And then I get beautiful, perfect strength iced tea. So, like, win-win-win, right? Okay, colors. My couleurs. I'm going to try and shift my tea out of the way so I actually have space to put my paints next to me. And then we are going to take our selection of colors and try and make... I think the line stuff for this should probably be primarily the purple for our little non-beanie moth here. Which is, I was going to say it's one of my favorite Pride Flag color schemes, but honestly, like, I love every Pride Flag color scheme. They're all so good. They're all so good. And I know the important thing about a Pride Flag isn't just the color scheme, but, you know, it's nice to feel represented by a color scheme you can look at and be like, yes, I would like to get myself an enamel pin of, like, the Starfleet insignia, but in the colors of the non-binary Pride Flag. There is someone on Etsy that makes these, and I am planning to buy myself one. I'm really hoping the shipping isn't astronomical. I don't know where they ship from, and typically things that ship from like across the pond, things like enamel pins, the shipping tends to be like 15 pounds, and I'm like, the pin cost less than that, so I usually don't. But if the shipping is reasonable, I'm going to get myself a pin of a Star Trek with these colors, because that's my vibe at the moment. Oh no. I'm so sorry. Anyways, okay, let me mix up a nice line weight purple then. The purple that comprises part of 1/8 of this palette is too pink in and of itself. So I'm gonna have to add a little bit of blue to it. But anyways, how's everyone's Thursday going? How have you been? What you been up to? Have you had a good week? I hope you've had a good week. I have had a week. Actually, no, it's been all right. It's been all right. I had a very exhausted Monday, and then that's too much blue. I think I need to add more purple to it. I had a very exhausted Monday. I had a very exhausting Tuesday because I had an event that I had to go to that I had completely forgotten was that week, let alone the Tuesday. So that really took it out of me for that day. But Wednesday was fine. A funny thing happened on Wednesday. So I was speaking with a colleague of mine on Wednesday. I can't remember what we were talking about. And at some point he said, something to do with the context of the conversation, I'm sure. We hadn't even started talking about Star Trek at this point. And he says to me, you're autistic, right? And I'm just like, wait, I don't remember ever saying I was. But I mean, you're not wrong. But also, beans. Well, apparently I've forgotten how to not seem autistic, so... Cool. Anyways, of all of the people to guess that, I feel like that was a very safe colleague to make that guess, if I hadn't said so. So that was fine. But it's not really, it's something I talk about a lot on stream. It's not really something that I talk about a lot in my, like, parts of my off-stream life, because sometimes people are weird about it. You know, they'll say things like, oh, but you seem so normal. And I just don't have it in me to, like, deal with that anymore. I'm tired. So I just don't bring it up. And if people notice independently, that's fine. That's great, actually, because, like, I'm cool. Anyways, okay, before I do the line weight on this, I actually want to do a little lookup of what... things I might have forgotten about what this actual, the moth that this is based on looks like. Just to try and make sure it's I'm doing it correctly. Ferris is the same people that say, you're kind of weird. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's just, in practically the same breath, they'll be like, but you seem so normal. And they'll be like, why are you so weird? It's like, you know why. Anyways. So, it's like, y'all. I actually had a dream last night that was, part of it at least was very much what one of the sort of hallmarks of the weirdness of existing with my neurotype can be. And that is, long story short, I was sitting in on a podcast recording, and due to the circumstances of how I'd kind of been introduced, I started doing, and the thing is, I wish I could remember what I said, because in the moment, I could tell I was being, like, absolutely, like, pee your pants level hilarious, okay? Like, it was a really, I was, I was riffing fantastically. It was a hilarious bit. I was doing, like, the best bit I've ever done in my life. It was just maximum excellent comedy goof. I am very funny. And the people around me were reacting as though I was speaking, like, with complete seriousness. And I'm like, I'm doing a funny voice and everything. It's super obvious that I'm doing a bit here. Y'all just have no sense of comedy. And I know comedy is subjective and yada, yada, yada. But my God, it is... it is like an ongoing experience of my existence, at least, that in the wrong type of company, or sometimes in the right type, sometimes it just happens no matter what, I'm doing a funny comedy goof and people take me deadly seriously. Like, they just assume that I absolutely mean exactly what I'm saying and that I'm not just doing a bit, when I'm super obviously doing a bit. It's like, y'all, this is funny. Like, why? Okay, sure, I go off, I guess. But then conversely, I've found myself in situations where I am genuinely in crisis. I am having a horrible time, and I am reaching out to someone in the hopes of receiving, if not like genuine support, at least some like words of support, right? And I get back, oh my god, you are so funny. Oh, Sammy, you're just hilarious, aren't you? And I'm like, I just told you I'm on the verge of a breakdown, but go off, I guess. At which point I no longer feel safe in telling this person I'm in the middle of a crisis and just give up. Which is, not a good feeling. And thankfully, I'm very thankful to say has not happened in a really long time because I'm in a reasonably good place mentally. But yeah. Turnip says, that's not okay. Yeah, I mean, it's clearly not done out of a place of malice on behalf of the individuals who are just like, oh, funny comedy jokes. And it's like, no, this isn't gallows humor. This is the gallows. And the fact that, sometimes people will think that the more I say, like, I cannot begin to express how sincere I am being right now. I am being entirely clear and transparent and speaking with complete sincerity. Nothing about this is funny. I mean exactly what I say. I'm not doing a funny comedy joke, and people are still like, oh, this is a bit. I'm like, it's not a bit. It's not a bit. Not a bit. But, once people are like, oh, comedy jokes, I'm uncomfortable telling them that it's not a bit, so, like, we're done here. But anyways, again, this has not manifested in any serious way in a long time because, like, my mental health is okay. Don't worry about me, okay? Anyways, that, again, completely sincere, not a joke. My mental health is pretty good. I'm okay. But also thank you for the hugs, I appreciate it. Anyways. Yay, that bit is good at least, says Turnip. Hell yeah. And you know what? I hope y'all are well too. And I hope that if you are feeling in any way like you need support, that you are able to reach out to people who understand, and that you feel safe confiding in. I am very blessed to say that I have, a handful of safe people for when I'm not feeling great, including my partner. My safest person of all, so I am, again, as previously stated, okay. I just wanted to put that out there because I genuinely don't want people worrying about me, especially when there is no need to, because I'm okay. Anywho, though I wouldn't want people worrying about me if I wasn't okay either, because I don't like being perceived. Anyways, on a much lighter note, I hope, non-beanie moth. Non-beanie moth. I'm gonna do a painting of a non-beanie moth. Why do I know? Okay. Like, I know that song, but I've never actually listened to that song. What the heck? It's just ubiquitous enough that it just lives in my head too. Okay. How shall I need to paint some eyes onto this little non-beanie moth, and actually the eyes are kind of like a dark gray, so I might do that. I might use my other brush and just hope I can get a tiny enough lick of paint on here that I don't accidentally make the eyes giant, because the eyes on this one are pretty tittle. And as much as I love the idea of just giving all of these, like, big, like, anime girl eyes. I do kind of want them to look like moths, so gonna try. To get the size about right. Yay! Okay! Oh my god, that looks so much nicer already. Perfect. Pink pony moth, says Samantha. Hell yeah. I don't, is there a pony moth? I don't think, I have a hummingbird and an elephant in moth form, and technically they're both hawks, but I don't know if there's a pink pony moth, but maybe there should be. Anyways, here's our non-beanie moth. I based the design on a mint moth, which is a real moth that exists in real life, so apologies to any non-binary people who are watching who do not like mint. But on the other hand, I am a mint enjoyer, so sorry. I don't know. Anyways. I had mint tea this morning. I had a big mug of iced mojito tea. So, you know, it's like a rum-based cocktail, except it's green tea. With mint and lime. It was very nice. Okay. So let me get some nice soft line weight onto these little wingies, if I may. Cool. Okay. I need a little bit more paint. Scrappy! Hello, there is no pink pony moth, but there is a horse chestnut moth. Ooh, a horse chestnut moth. I love them already. Hi, Scrappy. How are you doing? It's lovely to see you. Welcome on in. Hello. I hope you are having a magnificent Thursday. I apologize that I'm unable to say to speak your name in all caps, but hold up. There we go. I have typed Scrappy in all caps into the chat. It's too hot, Sammy. Help! I know. I'm genuinely hopeful that my my electric fan isn't absolutely ruining the audio of the stream. I can't hear what y'all are hearing, so I genuinely don't know. But I've been told it's okay. But if it's not okay, again, let me know and I'll try and fix it. I did try and turn down the gain on the microphone, so I don't know what my volume is doing at this point. You good? Thank you, Scrappy. I appreciate it. Truly, I do. Yes. Anywho, what was I? Why is my stream manager page not loaded? Hello? Twitch? What are you doing? What did I just do? Okay, I fixed it. I think I fixed it. Hopefully I fixed it. Alright, anyways. I'm gonna keep line weighting this little creature. We might actually get this done today, who knows? I mean, I don't want to overpromise, so, like, you know, obviously I make zero guarantees to that effect, but we shall see. Here we go. Cute little, happy little moth eyes for a happy little moth. This moth says, "Gender? I hardly know her." Because this moth is a massive dork, just like me. Turnip, thank you so much for the lurk. I hope you have a lovely, lovely, lovely lurk. Thank you. I am genuinely thinking of, I don't know if I haven't posted it to socials yet, but that stupid artwork I did with a Star Trek character shrugging, and it says, "Gender, I hardly know her," because that's my kind of goof. I'm genuinely considering making that a sticker, if nothing else, so I can have one. No one else needs to want it, but I would like to have one, so that might be coming in the next shop update. Who knows? Okay, I think I think this one is good. This moth is like so much smaller than the rest of them, and I didn't realize until after I had drawn it and then the rest of them, and I'm like, oh, this moth is real little, so I might fix that in post because it's very small. But have you watched The Last Man on Earth? I don't think so, Vero. I don't think I have. What's it? I was gonna ask what it's about, and then I realized you just told me. But no, I don't think I have. I'm trying to think. Oh my god, you must. The hardly knower jokes are huge there. Oh man, okay. Recommendation received with gratitude. Because I love that. Scrappy says, what's your gender? Moth. No, but what's in your pants? 9,999 other moths. Yes, exactly. Correct. You get it. Oh, goodness gracious. Honestly, I don't know if this is weird, but you know, there was a mention of a horse chestnut moth earlier, and I will tell you right now that generally, if you were to ask what's in my pants, I would pull a chestnut out of my pocket, because when the chestnut trees drop their chestnuts in the autumn, I always make sure to find the nicest, most satisfying, smoothest, roundest chestnut I can find, and I pick it up and I put it in my pocket, and that's just like a fidget object for me until the end of time. Every pocket of every garment I own must have its own designated chestnut, because who knows when I will need to fidget, and the texture is real good on the size and texture of chestnut is perfect for that. Anyways, it's your otter pebble, says Vero. Yes, it is. It really is. It's my pocket chestnut. It's my treasure. Oh, gosh. Samantha says, I have a feeling that The Last Man on Earth is probably going to be a non-indicative title because there always turns out to be other people. I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that there are that it's not like a cast of one, but I don't know. Scrappy says, insert a fiddling with your nuts. Oh no. Scrappy! Heck! Sorry. Oh, I broke my own lungs. Alrighty. Well, thank you for that, Scrappy. This is a good time to remind the chat that this is an adult stream for grown-ups. I know we tend to keep things relatively wholesome here, but not that wholesome. Not going to comment on the fact that within the word wholesome is the word whole. Nope. I swear this stream has gotten less wholesome as time has gone on. I can't do it. I can't. Anyways, it's all good. Oh no, you killed her, says Vero. But you just did. I did. Sorry. Sorry about that, Indeed. Anyways, okay. We need to switch palettes because I have different paints for our beautiful little trans friend who I love. One of the things I love about the 1980s set is that it has Trans Pride Blue and Trans Pride Pink built in. It also, in between them, is nested, again, avert your gaze. That's Gaze. Gays are very welcome. The orange that is so bright, it's literally not even readable correctly on camera. It's brighter than that. It's Prang. Prang's back, everybody, but I'm not painting with it because Prang is a great choice if you're going to be seeing the original in person, because I cannot capture the insanity of Prang, which is orange +1. I cannot capture the insanity of Prang on camera. It won't pick it up. I've tried to scan it in, and the scanner just gets confused, overloads, and short circuits, and it scans in at pale peach when it is eye-wateringly bright in real life. I am thinking of, so on my Patreon, and actually now on my Ko-fi as well, because depending on whatever platform you prefer, I have a subscription tier that people can subscribe to. It's very limited, because I don't want to commit to doing too many of them, because they take some time. But where I do A7 size, so like half the size of this, like, so basically like that size, original artworks, just little character portraits and stuff. Usually centering a single color for them. I have not done a month where my color was Prang, but I'm considering doing a Prang month. But I'm afraid that will drive people away from their subscriptions. And I would like to avoid that if I can. So, welp. Maybe I shouldn't do that. I don't know. Anyways, okay. I'm on to pulling up my reference for my lovely little, trans pride moth. So let's see what I can do. Oh no, Scrappy has melted. Oh dear, I'm so sorry about Prang. But also it is very funny. Good old Prang. Okay. If I just do this, will that work? Okay, so this moth's eyes are big and darker than the rest of it. Okay, so if I maybe grab like the darker blue and just do like a dark blue eye. Praying is why the UK is having a heat wave. Oh my god, it's just radiating heat out into the country. Honestly, yeah, that tracks. That tracks. Ah, beans. Sorry, everyone. It's my fault. Okay. That'll do. Right. So I do apologize for the heat wave. Anyone else in the UK, I'm so sorry. Unless you're somewhere where the weather's actually quite nice, in which case I love that for you. If somehow you're having just like a nice day, that's awesome. I felt so bad for the person who came and gave our grocery delivery today. I had a delivery from Tesco, and I really hope that it is comfortable in that guy's delivery van. I hope that there's like plenty of... I hope that he's able to either get the AC going on like full blast or keep all the windows down to stay nice and comfy. I really do. Because I'm lucky enough to have just been like in my house today, but I'm very aware of the fact that not everyone was, and if I were having to be in like a stuffy office today, I'd be extremely grumpy about it. For sure. Extremely grumpy. So. Or, oh god, stuffy, like... I don't know if the kids are still in school. I don't know if the, like, university students are still having lectures. I don't actually know when, like, the terms end here. Because I do not have children, and I was a student in another country where the term times are different. And that was many years ago anyways. Oh my god, that was so many years ago. It was technically, I started my undergraduate 21 years ago this autumn. And I finished in 2010, I want to say. 2010, 2011, somewhere around there. So yeah, it's been a wee while since I was an old student. But oh boy, the absolute like nightmare experience of having to do like, pay attention in, like, a lecture theater when it is just hotter than the depths of hell all around you. Just bad. Just really, really bad. 0 out of 10, do not recommend. There, we have our first line. Yay. Universities are usually finished for the year around this time, says Scrappy. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, actually, yeah, there's a point. I did see people in there. Okay, this is an Oxford thing. I don't know how many other universities do this, but when students sit their exams at Oxford, they have to dress up in like a specific like outfit with like fancy robes and stuff. And then when they finish their final exam of the year, people throw things at them, so you can tell when someone's just sat their last exam when they're covered in like streamers and like mess. Sub fusk. I can say that. Anyways, yes, thank you, Samantha. It's not something that I was super familiar with because we did not do that. Like, people rocked up to exams in their pajim jams when, you know, at the university that I went to in Canada. And indeed, my moderator / spouse did actually attend university in Oxford, but there is another university also in the city of Oxford, and that's the one that he went to. So he got to go to the fancy exam halls, but he got to go to the fancy exam halls to sit his exams wearing, like, jeans and a t-shirt. So, honestly love that for him, but also sad that there are therefore no photos of him in, like, silly little robes. Because I think that would be cute. Anyways, so yes, Scrappy says universities are usually finished for the year around this time. That's when I fell onto the tangent. But most primary / high school / colleges finish around late July. Oh my god. That's so mean. I feel like after a certain point, especially in a country with no air conditioning, like, how much attention is going to be paid? How much are people going to be able to actually get stuff done? You know, when it's that hot, like, there is a point at which I'm like, I am just too physically uncomfortable to actually achieve anything. I have a terrible drawing time from Vero. Hell yes. If you will permit me just a moment to finish this line, and then we will terrible drawing time it. Okay, I'm just gonna rinse my brushy do. And then we're gonna do a terrible drawing for you. Oh my goodness, I'm excited. A venomized possum. Yes. Oh, I hope I can do the little possum justice. I very much hope I can do the little possum justice, because I genuinely don't know. Believe it or not, I've never drawn a possum before. So this is terrifying. Oh, this is ad break. No, it's trying to run an ad break. I'm gonna have to tell that no, because I have 5 minutes to do this. So the ad break can get in the garbage. Anyways, hello. Here's I've got some possum emotes in the chat from Pyrrha. Here's some reference, lol. Amazing. I mean, I love them. They're delightful. Thank you. But I will try and do them justice, because I do think they are super fun. I would love to do some possum art. I was thinking about that the other day. Someone who I follow here and on YouTube, did a... Okay, so first of all, I don't know if Drawfee on YouTube did a charity stream. The charity stream was on Twitch, but they have a YouTube channel. Anyways, my point is they did a charity stream a little while back, and another lovely person named Rebecca Roney did a little short video for that charity stream that was just a bunch of facts about possums, like animated. It was absolutely delightful, and I was just like, man, I should draw more possums. Possums are fun. So thank you for this. Anyways, yes, terrible drawing time, for anyone who doesn't know, is a phenomenon whereby for 5,000 channel points, I have 5 minutes or less to draw a character or concept of your choosing on the terrible drawing canvas from memory or sight unseen. In this case, from memory, because I have seen possums before. And I'm going to do my ding-dang best to draw a venomized possum here, so we'll see how that goes. I will try and make as cute and good as I can, but I make no promises, because you know, it will be what it will be. Que sera sera and all that jazz. Where's my timer? I need to bring up my timer. As you can see, things are going interestingly here, and I apologize. But I also accept no responsibility for any psychic damage that may occur as a result of your terrible drawing. That being said, rest assured that the psychic damage will more than likely be end up being inflicted by me on me. So you probably don't have to worry about it. Okay, the timer is going. I started the timer. Why did I start the timer? Oh no, Okay, so, a possum. Right. So, possums have beady little eyes, and then they've got kind of like a long snoot, and then they have little nosies, kind of like that, I think. How am I doing so far? Am I doing okay? I hope I'm doing okay. Restarts his pair. I don't know. Anyways, but then they've got a little mouth like, because they, as far as I can tell, they like to yell. As far as I can tell, they like to yell. So I'm gonna have them be. Yeah, hold on. I think hold. Okay, kind of more like. They're yelling. That's not enough of a yell, because especially because this is a venomy possum. So more yell, and then just like horrifyingly pointy little teeths. Because why not? There's just like real big teeth in front because fun. Honestly, because fun. I know not of what I am doing at this point. And then they've got like kind of little ears. They've got kind of little ears like this, I think. And I don't know. There's venom involved somewhere, so I kind of want to just some goop. There's just gonna be some goop. There needs to be some goop happening here. So the goop is happening. There's goop. Don't ask me to explain the goop, because I don't know. And do possums have, like, they've got, like, long old tails? Do they have, like, sort of ratty little tails of some kind? I mean, they're not ratty, because they're, like, are they marsupials? They are marsupials, aren't they? Yes, of course they're marsupials. What am I talking about? I'm stupid. I know they're marsupials. But I'm gonna give it as just a really long, kind of crazy tail here. And then just what are these legs? They look like weird, like, hand legs. I don't know what I'm doing. But this tail is also goopy. Just to make it extra, like, ugh, what the hell is this thing? Okay. So, not gonna lie, I love them a bit. I love them a bit. So I'm just gonna start kind of shading and coloring bits in a little, I guess, because I can. Still gonna look largely possum-ish, possum-esque, but definitely gonna try and color in some more of this venomous goop. And it's having a good. This possum's having a great time. This possum's having a wonderful day. I hope it's okay. I hope this is this a vibe? I feel like it could be even more feral than this, but I think this is a good starting point. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, but I tried. Here is venom possum. I don't know how to portmanteau venom possum together. Ven possum, poss ven. I don't know. Anyways, this is venom possum. I guess I could bring up a picture of a possum so you can compare and contrast how well I did. So bear with. Let me see if I can quickly find a picture of a possum for comparison purposes. And put okay, here's the comparison picture. What? No, why is it so small? Ah, shoot. Okay, anyways, let me try and make it bigger. There we go. That'll do. Okay, here's the compare and contrast. How did I do? I love them so much. Vero, I hope you're happy. Truly I do. Truly I do. There's mine again. A scientifically accurate drawing of an opossum if ever there was one. Very happy. Yay! Well, that was terrible drawing time. Just in time, the BRB countdown is about to sound again. So I'm going to take a super quick break before we resume finishing our little trans pride moth here. You won't miss anything, but you do get to see a beautiful BRB screen. So please enjoy the BRB screen, and I will be back in just a minute. A BRB, everyone! Hello, friends, I'm back. Please say goodbye to the BRB screen and the BRB music. It's me again. Hi! Thank you so much for holding. It's lovely to be back. Hello, hello. Tulls, that's a lovely dance you're doing. Casa, that's a lovely dance you're doing as well. And hello, friends. I hope you are well. Hope you're having lovely Thursdays. I hope you are surviving and staying hydrated if you are in a warm environment. Because I sure am, and oh boy. I am not getting enough fluids into me. I should be chugging this. I've also retrieved a sports drink from the fridge. Because I need it. It is a bit warm, says Tallis. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. I squirreled away while we were on break. Because I want to show you. So I purchased, as a birthday gift to myself, I purchased a little fabric haul for things I can make. Or, you know, water, says Vera. I do have a bottle of water that is chilling in the fridge right now. I'm very excited to chug it later. Anyways, but yes, drink fluids. Fluids good. This is strawberry tea, incidentally. It is no longer available. This particular one, there's no point in my shouting out because it's no longer available in the UK. Not sponsored anyways, but if you're in the UK, you can't buy. I don't actually know if the brand still exists in its native Australia either, because, well, it's pretty expensive for me to order it from there, so I'm not following them on social media anymore. Anyways, so I wanted to treat myself to, originally I was going to treat myself to, like, a nice garment as a birthday gift last month, and I kind of dithered on it, and I didn't do it, and then I was looking on the website of a fabric shop that I really like, that's based in Kent, and, I was like, you know, for the price of one nice dress, I could get enough fabric to make, like, several garments. So I got a couple of things. I haven't brought the entire haul in with me because it is actually kind of a big box. Oops. But I wanted to show you these fabrics because I think these are the most interesting visually of the ones that I got, or at least a couple of the most interesting visually. But, like, you can't see the whole thing, and it looks kind of weird on camera, but this pattern is so cool. I love it. I love it very much. It's sort of like this sort of off-white, sort of light, I don't know, like parchment-y color, against black, and it's such a cool pattern. I'm gonna make a pair of, like, just loose, sort of 3/4 length trousers out of that, which I think are going to be very, very comfy in the hot weather and also look really cute hanging around the house and also going out and running errands and stuff. And I also got this, which is significantly more colorful. And I only got 1 meter of this fabric, but my plan is to use it to make like a sort of swingy sleeveless crop top situation for when it is simply too hot to have like fabric touching most of my skin. I would love to have something that's a little bit light and breezy, and also a crop top because, you know, I like to look a little bit cute. I like to look a little, you know, fancy. I don't mind people knowing that I have a tummy. I like a crop top situation. It's cute. Anyways, so that's the vibe. And I just think it's neat. Hooray for treating yourself, says Tals. Hell yeah. I'm very excited about these fabrics. They are 100% cotton, by the way, and hand dyed and woven in India. So hell yeah, very excited to get to use them. Anywho, the other fabric that I got is it's just a solid, like the outer fabric is just a solid color. It's a nice sort of mid, like, marine blue kind of situation. And I got that one for making myself a little, like, Hanten jacket for when it's starting to cool down a little bit more. Because I don't really have a lot of, like, good mid jackety type garments. I have one jacket that's, like, really, really casual and doesn't really work when I'm, like, in skirt mode. That's like a sort of indigo denim looking cotton linen blend. It's very cool. It's very cool. I look like a very fashionable dude in that jacket. I dig it, but I need something that will also work when I'm in, like, skirt mode. So I got this slightly quilted cotton fabric for the exterior of this Hanten jacket, and then I got sort of a lighter, like, off-white fabric that has a little bit of a print on it for the lining, which you'll be able to see, like, on the cuffs and just on the sort of seamy bits, and I think it'll look really cute. I hope it'll look cute anyways. So those are my plans for my little fabriques. I'm very excited. I like treating myself to things that are, like, also a project. I think that's fun, because it's not just giving myself something that's like, this is an object that I can enjoy. This is something that I get to actually do as an activity. Is a little more, I don't know. That feels like an added value to the whole doodad. I'm sat on the floor wrapping a bunch of presents, says Casa. Ooh! Have you got some gifties to give? Very exciting. I hope that the gift wrapping is going well. I am notoriously horrible at wrapping gifts. Like, I try and do it nice and neatly, and I'm not good at it. So, like, you should feel very proud. It's a skill. Hell yeah. Anyways, I am picking up some pink paint now. I realize that my PNG tuber is completely covering what I'm doing on the palette, but I'm picking up some... Hold on, let me rotate. I'm picking up some pink paint now. And I'm going to do the rest of the line weight for our beautiful trans moth in our lovely pink color. There we go. Oh, goodness gracious, I love them so much. What a sweet little floof. Anyways. I hope you like them. This is one of those sets of antennae that are, like, a tittle bit floofy. Oh, y'all. Look at him. Oh, no. It's cute. Heck. I'm really happy with the trans moth. I think they look very, very cute. I was thinking of maybe doing... in fact, it was suggested that I do stickers of these. But if I do physical stickers of these, I don't know whether to do it as, like, a sticker sheet or do, like, individual stickers. Because some people might want, like, a specific one. I don't know. Trans moths or human moths? That is... correct. Wait. Yes? Yes. Thank you, Samantha. Yes. I agree. Hell yeah, trans moths. Anyways. I love this moth. I love this moth very much, and I hope that you do too. Honestly, this is gonna sound okay, this is going to sound corny and this is going to sound stupid. And I realize this because like this was going to be just like a single stream little goofy little sketchy do project based on a stupid word pun based on a typo I kept making when I was trying to type Pride Month. And yet I find myself in a situation where I'm like, wait a second, if I'm representing all of these different, you know, like queer people as little sort of moth guardians of thems, I want to do all of these moths justice because I love my queer community, and so I want the moths to look good, and I want people to see, hey, that's a moth that represents me, and feel good about that, and not be like, oh, well, this moth is bad, I'm sad about that. Or be like, hey, this I don't like this bisexual companion moth, therefore this is biphobic, which, no, I'm the opposite of biphobic, which is bi. That's what I am. Anyways. Or no. So, yeah, like, the pressure is on. The pressure is real. The pressure is self-imposed and should probably be ignored, but it's present. So here we are. Mothman says protect trans kids, says Casa. Hell yeah. These Mothmen do. Anyways, so yeah, I wasn't sure how long this line art was going to take, so I also did a sketch of the Mothmen at a pride parade. So here they are, anyways. So yeah, when I said that we are doing like even more pride moths for Pride Month, I was not joking. It's moths all the way down for the rest of Pride Month, probably. Oh, excuse me. And if I do run out of moths, I don't know, Star Trek fan art, I guess. Anywho, I can't show you the completed piece because it's for my patrons. So I'm not allowed to share, but do I have saved to my phone okay, we're doing a zoom in of honestly one of probably the greatest sketch I've ever drawn in my life. I just dropped like several things, so let me just get my paintbrush fell off the desk, and some paints also fell, but they're fine. Let me just zoom in here because I drew this I drew this in while taking notes at an event. And if you're familiar with a specific series of 1990s Star Trek, you might recognize who this character is, but there's a good chance that you won't, just because I did draw him from memory. And this is my favorite thing I've ever drawn. Anyways, remember all moths are non-binary. Samantha, thank you for the pun. Thank you. And Behemoth, says Cassie. Yes, I love it. Thank you. But all of these are super adorbs, says Styles. Oh, thank you. Some sort of Ferengi. The very same. I can't believe that little lemon head read as Ferengi-esque. Good. Thank you. Anyways. Cassie says, the presents include, the bear coffee and giant dairy milk bar. Oh, nice. That's so nice. I wish I had a giant dairy. Actually, no, I don't think I could. I don't think I could eat chocolate right now. It's too hot. I do have a melon. I think I want a melon. As soon as it cools down, I'll want chocolate again. But right now, I want melon. I haven't bought like just a whole watermelon in a really, really long time. So I hope it's delicious. I really hope it's delicious. I'm very excited. And that was thanks to the magic of getting someone to drive your groceries directly to your front door instead of having to carry it on the bus, because like I am very, my body is quite broken, and there's a good chance that I will be incredibly sore the next day if I had to carry several kilograms worth of watermelon from the supermarket to my house. So, you know, I'd rather not. Anyways. Cassis says during 3 weeks of being sick, I missed a few family events, so there's a backlog of presents. Oh. Well, I'm glad that you're able to do all of the presents now. That's a good. And that hopefully means that you're feeling better. Okay. I am looking up another moth reference so that hopefully I can do a good job. Oh no, you're so cute. You're so cute. Yes, you are. Okay, I think what I'm going to do, because I think if I try and line this whole thing in yellow, it's going to not look very out. So I think I might actually do the outlines in purple to tie it into the purple circle at the center of the intersex flag. I hope that that will look good. And for that, I will need my perp for this, which is going to be this bad boy right here, I think, because it's a good reference purple for this, I think. Okay. I might actually steal a bit of this and just add a little bit of that to it. That might work just as well, and also mean that I'm not wasting paint. And if there's one thing I enjoy, it's not wasting paint. Wasting paint feels real bad, man. I know I've got lots of it, and I use so little because because generally I work on a very small canvas, but still, you know, like, I don't know. I don't like to waste paint. Anyways. Okay. Okay, so these moths have quite big, beautiful eyes. So let me see if I can do... This is not wanting to be quite as circular as I would like. Oh no. There, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, that works. No, they're cute. Oh no, he's cute. Okay. Okay. Let's, add in some leggies. There. They got some leggies. Smith says, oh no, he cute. Yes. Yes. Yes, he's very, very cute little creature. Thank you. Thank you, TT. I can't do TTS Nicole's voice. Her voice is singularly her own. And we love her. If you don't know, we have a TTS voice that reads out oh no. There she is. Thank you, Tals, for the TTS Nicole. Thank you. There she is. That's the wombat who very kindly reads out our messages on stream. And we love her very much. She is a lovely lady, and honestly, I think it's incredibly impressive.
Casimuse cheered. X1. Oh now.
Thank you very much for the biddy, Casa, and for the additional speech from the lovely TTS Nicole, our resident wombat who likes to wear dungarees and has mastered human speech. I wish I could tell you exactly what letters I spelled out to get her to say "oh no," but I do not remember. I do not remember what they are. I probably should have written that down somewhere because I genuinely don't know anymore. Oh no. Okay. Alrighty. Nearly there. With this level. I think this was the right choice of line color for this, because I think if I tried to use yellow, it would have made the whole thing not pop enough. And I think this pops much more nicely alongside its little friends. Hell yeah. Yay! We have this is I love this. This is a moth that I sometimes see locally here. Not super often, because a lot of moths don't tend to, well, it varies. There are the day flyers and the night flyers, and obviously you see the day flyers more often out during the day. But generally in sort of my neighborhood or in like the city, I don't see a ton of moths about, because they're usually happier sort of in the meadows and the more naturey areas, I would guess. Notwithstanding the like two times in the entire time I've lived in the city that I've seen a scarlet tiger moth, including this past Tuesday, and the one time I've seen a brimstone moth, which this beautiful little buddy is inspired by. But yeah, don't see a lot of moths here. Anyways, that's okay. I hope they're all having a nice time out in more naturey areas and not accidentally flying into my house either, which would be good, because this is not a healthy environment for a moth. We don't have moth snacks or good moth. Unless you're the kind of moth who likes to eat wool, in which case don't come into my house, because that wool is expensive. And I don't have very much money. I did once have to throw away like a bag of knitting wool because I found that whatever the type of moth is that like eats wool had been like laid eggs in it and was like chowing down, and I felt like enough of it was probably ruined that I did not know how to salvage it, so I just got rid of it. That was very sad, but I hope that was a nice environment for them to snack on, I guess. You know, that's an upside, right? I don't know. Anyways, so that's the thing. Should I do a purple outline for the ace moth as well? Or a black outline? I'm not sure. I don't actually know what would be the best choice for that. I think maybe a black outline would be very striking. But a purple outline would add more purple to it. And I like purple. But I also like black. Ah! Don't know what do. Oh no. Anyways, never mind. Yeah. What do? Oh, I was gonna pull up a little reference of the magpie moth, which is, not normally purple at all, but again, made a little, some editorial edits, I suppose you could say, in the interest of making it an ace moth, which is, I know I've been saying this about every single flag we do, but it's a heckin' pretty flag. So happy to do it. Okay. I think maybe I've done a purple outline for like 2 of them, like variations on purple. And I might have to do a purple outline for the bi moth as well. So maybe I'll do a black outline for the ace. Just to keep things interesting, keep it spicy, keep it not all of the things being exactly the same. So I'm just, this paint isn't from any of the palettes I'm using. This is just a splodge of neutral tint that I just have been leaving on my palette for when I need black, I guess. Shrug. Anyways, let's give you some cute little eyes here. Oh, that's a big eye. Okay. Well, the ace moth's got big eyes, I guess. Which is good, because big eyes are cute. Like so many artists, believe it or not, I got my start being like, yeah, I want to do art stuff. Like, real and properly, when I was like 13 and I started drawing big booby anime characters. True story. Probably somewhere in like my parents' storage, there are terrible drawings that I did of anime characters, some of whom had probably real big Listen, I don't know how old I was when I learned what the word, like, bisexual was, but I was definitely having some interesting feelings at that point in my life that I didn't know how to put a name to yet. Oh my, Sammy, the scandal. I mean, they were fully clothed, they just happened to be full-busted women. That's not scandalous, surely. Also, honestly, the state of, like, trying to buy comics in my hometown, at that point in, like, I don't know, like, the late 90s, representations of female characters were very sexy. Like, very sexy. And I say that in the, like, hey, could we maybe let the female characters wear as many clothes as the male ones way? Like, in a... You can tell that this comic was drawn by a man. Cass is waggling their eyebrows. Oh, jeez, I'm so embarrassed. I'm telling you such cringe things about my past. Please be nice. And bearing in mind, again, I was in, like, the 9th grade, okay? Listen. Anyways. I was just, I liked the art style and the stories, and I was just emulating, like, the character drawings, because that's what the characters looked like. And here we are. Oh boy. Okay, anyways. So that's that. You liked big boobs. You could not lie. Huh. Yeah, I mean, both of these things are true. Terrible liar. And, aesthetically, I did appreciate the bosom. But hey, listen. That's okay. Nah. We have some very, you drew the pig. I mean, listen. Like, yeah, I was like, this is pretty for reasons I can't quite explain yet, but also, I would like to learn to draw, like, the cool drawings I see in the comic books that I like. And my favorite characters are largely the girl ones. So, I'm gonna draw them. And so I did. Okay? Okay. Anyways. I really hope none of those drawings exist, because now I'm feeling incredibly ashamed. Y'all have given me a great shame, you know that? Shame. Shame. The girl characters were the best characters. Samantha, you're right. The girl characters were the best characters. It's true. So there. Anyways. Wings! You gotta work with what you had, says Tels. Yes, exactly, you get it. No, Samantha, I understand. But when I tell you, like, this art was bad, because I was a child. And I didn't know how to do art yet. And then I stopped doing art for many years because I took art classes, and then I had an art teacher who was real crappy. And then went and did a university degree at a school where I had intended to actually take some art classes while I was doing my university degree. They were still in the course calendar, and then I found out that they were like phasing them out. So I couldn't take any art classes while I did my university degree because they literally ceased to exist after like my first term there. And I was very upset. I was really hoping to do like a ceramics class. I thought that could have been really fun. You know, integrate some like research creation into some of my projects. No. So I stopped doing art for a while. I started up again towards the end of my university degree, but like pretty much from like I would say like maybe the 10th grade until I was in like my mid to late 20s, I really wasn't doing art at all. Which is quite a long time if you think about it. I didn't really pick it up like fully until like my late 20s again. I did photography though. And I still do photography, but I do different photography these days than I was doing back then. But so it goes. Anyways. Certainly doing different art than I did when I was, you know, an earnest 13-year-old drawing anime characters. So, like, hey. That's all good. Anyways, I'm sorry we talked so much about big booby characters while I was drawing the ace moth. I'm so sorry. To the entire ace community, I apologize. But I hope you like your moth, because they were really fun to design. And I picked a moth species that I thought would work really, really well with the color scheme of the Ace Pride flag, and I hope that y'all like it. Very much I do. Anyways. Okay. Okie dokie. Moving on to the bi moth. Hey, it's me! Samantha says, the ace moth appreciates the big booby anime girls. They simply have no desire to do the sex with them. You know what? And I can relate to that, because neither do I. This may be because I'm happily married and I'm not looking for, you know, like, additional relationships. And to be honest, that kind of precludes my finding other people or characters hot in a meaningful way. I'm telling you too much about myself. I'm oversharing. Someone else say something before I reveal any other, like, intimate truths that I don't really have the time to interrogate while I'm trying to watercolor. Bye, moth, says Samantha. Aw, jeez. Anyways, here's our bye. Hi, bye, moth. Hi, bye, moth. The heat has melted Sammy's filter, and you know what? They barely had one for starters. Like, they barely had a filter to begin with. For some reason, like, it's weird. In many ways, I consider myself, believe it or not, in many ways, I consider myself quite a private person about, like, a lot of stuff. There are a lot of things that I do not feel comfortable talking about myself with other people. And yet, I sit down in front of the stream mic, and I'm just like, hey, everybody, want to hear about, like, my deepest insecurities, hopes, and dreams? Because guess what? You're gonna. I'm sorry. I don't know why. It just, I am at once, like, an overshare and also, like, very private. These things should not go together. I think it might be a TISM thing. I don't know. Anyways. Or possibly even an ADHD thing. Once I start talking, I'm just like, oh, well, my mouth is hyperactive now, so good luck with that. Anyways, just before I started stream, I saw that the YouTuber Willie Muse has made a video about that god-awful movie that came out a little while ago with, what's his name? The guy who was Shazam, and it's about, like, a little autistic boy, but it's not really. It's about his like, parents, and, they're having such a time, and it's super bad. Like, it's really bad for real. Like, it's based on a true story, apparently, but it's still really bad. And yeah, looking forward to watching Willie have a terrible time with that movie, because I am entirely sure he's going to have a terrible time with that movie. 'Cause oh boy. Anyways, I like Willie Muse's YouTube channel. Do recommend. If you want to see someone do surprisingly insightful, like, recaps of America's Next Top Model episodes from, like, 2005, and also really bad Christian movies, it's a great channel. Anyways. Tell says, oh, Willie, watching him try to teach Nathan. Oh, yeah, he spends the entire time that he's making videos knitting as well. So if you like watching someone knit, it's great. Anyway, Zachary Levi, that's it. Yes, terrible man. I hate him. Oh, jeez. Anyways, I've missed some chat. Let me catch up. Oh, yes, Samantha said, I have to say, Sammy, you are lucky I only have half the points necessary for a terrible drawing time right now. I may have forgotten about big booby anime girls by Monday. I hope you have. I hope you have. But yeah, Stell says watching Willie try to teach Nathan to knit had me in stitches. For anyone who doesn't know, the Drawfee charity stream I mentioned before, this YouTuber Willie Muse was a guest on it, and he was teaching the hosts, or trying to teach the hosts, to knit, and the other host, Karina, was putting in somewhat of an earnest effort, but at some point Nathan just, like, lost the ability to try and follow these instructions entirely, and just started, like, twirling the yarn around the needles like it was a big piece of spaghetti. And then Willie's, like, trying to show the other host something, and then he looks over and he's like, Nathan, what are you doing? It was very funny. Anyways, Zachary Levi, Willie Muse, a wonderful, wonderful man, and I wholeheartedly support his endeavors. Zachary Levi, on the other hand, is a terrible human. Terrible, terrible human, says Samantha, and I agree. Libertarian and Trump supporter. What a piece of crap. He has, as far as I can recall, he has shitty opinions about vaccines, and he made a shitty movie nominally about an autistic boy, and considering the fact that he has shitty political opinions, as aforementioned, and has shitty opinions about vaccines, you can guess how bad this movie was. Have I seen this movie? No. Do I want to give this movie any press or attention or money? Absolutely not. Do not watch this movie. If you are curious about this movie, I recommend watching a YouTuber who's taken that, you know, like, burden for you to explain how terrible the movie is. I know that, obviously, Willie's just made a video about it. I think, oh god, what's her name? Shoot, what's her name? I forget what her name is, but her channel is I'm Autistic Now What, and she's also done a video about this movie, which just, wow, I hate it. Thanks, I hate it. I often think to myself, because, like, realistically, everything I write, basically, at this point, like, at least one of the main characters has the tism, somebody's got ADHD, like, you write what you know, right? It's really important to me to kind of represent those experiences as well as I can. Obviously, like, you know, like, no one's experience is universal, and that also translates to people, you know, like, neurodivergent folks. So some people, you know, have these traits, and some people have some of those traits, but also these other ones, but not those ones. So you're never going to capture everyone's experience perfectly, obviously, but I'm absolutely terrified as a writer of, like, fictitious things, of doing a couple things. Of doing a story where it's like, this is a story for neurotypical people from the perspective of neurotypical people experiencing, you know, like, getting to know someone who's autistic or something like that. It's like a very special episode of, like, hey, this is my new friend Jack, and he's got the tism. Let's make fun of him just because he's different. That actually makes him cool. You know, like that kind of thing. Which I think, especially, you know, the example that I gave just there sounds like it came from an episode of Arthur or something like that. And I think that's really great and sort of, you know, like, important material for, like, children, right? But for, like, adults, as an adult, I want to see more media that centers someone who seems like me, for someone who seems like me, you know, not like an outsider perspective of what somebody else thinks that I'm like. I don't want that. that sucks. I mean, I get, like, that's fine, but, like, I'm not interested in that personally. So I get scared that I'm accidentally going to create that, or that I'm going to do a bad job representing, like neurodivergence or whatever, even as someone who is drawing from largely their own personal experience and those experiences of people they know. I'm still really scared that I'm going to do a bad job. Or indeed, if I do, like, write a book or did like a show or something, and I'm just openly like, yeah, this character isn't autistic coded, they are autistic. To have that just be like, oh, well, that's what the show's about. It's the autism show. And it's like, well, no, actually, this is a ghost story. Or, no, actually, this is a spy novel. I have like 3 lines of a spy novel written in a Word doc, and I really want to figure out what's going on with that, because I think it's going to be real fun if I can actually figure out how to write it. I have no idea. I've never written a spy novel before. What the flip am I doing? I don't know. But if I had like 6 months and the mental wherewithal to commit myself to, like, writing this, I think it could be really fun and good. It could be really fun and good. Maybe a spy novella. Don't let's set our sights too stupidly high. I don't want to get silly. Anyways, Samantha, sorry, that was a tangent and a half. Samantha says, the real question is the Zachary Levi autism movie worse than the Sia movie about autism? I feel like, oh boy, oh, Biddle boy. You know what? I feel like maybe they're on a par, because, like, it is bad. It's based on a memoir written by a dad of an autistic boy. So it's like, it is based on an actual person's experience, but it's not from the perspective of the boy, therefore it's from the perspective of the boy's dad, as like an outsider perspective, trying to figure out how to parent his child. And there's some questionable stuff in the movie. Like, for some reason they give him like a medication that's supposed to be for his autism, which isn't a thing that exists. And then it makes him like lash out and have a violent meltdown, and then he's like committed for like several weeks, and they feel really bad about it. And it's like, what? Like, what? That makes no sense. I feel like that's something dumb they just invented for the movie because they don't actually understand how, like, any of this works. Oh, boy. You can tell that the movie was bad as well, because literally, I think it was slated to be released shortly after the Sia movie, or around that time, and it just got shelved for several years, possibly because they were like, oh no. Well, maybe it's not a good time to release this movie, because... Okay, anyways, How to Spy, a Sammy Kelch story, says Samantha. Yeah, I don't know. I just think it would be real fun, and I have the kernel of an idea that I think is real goofy, and kind of draws from a novella that I wrote for National Novel Writing Month back in 2003, which I do not have the manuscript to anymore, and that's probably for the best, because I wrote it in 2003, and if you do the maths based on my current age, you can guess that in 2003, I was a significantly less experienced writer. I feel like I was reasonably okay at, like, turns of phrase and that kind of thing, but I just have a wealth more experience when it comes to, like, experience in the intervening 22 years that I think may apply itself well to just writing a better book, I would hope. Anyways. Prominent character. Kernel idea. I just did you can't see, but I did a salute. Oh no, I love them. Anyways. But yeah. There's a lot from that novella that I just absolutely throw away because I can recognize now as a person who's read a lot more books than they did 22 years ago, that like a lot of it was just dog shit. Pardon my French. But you know, one's first crack at a novel is never going to be one's best novel, I'm sure. Thank you for the exclamation mark language, Tells. I deserve to be called up on that. I've been very sweary this stream, and I'm really sorry. I think the filter genuinely I think the filter genuinely has been just like knocked clean off in the heat. It's melted. Unfortunately, the filter was made out of chocolate. And as we all know from Mary Berry, chocolate melts in a child's pocket. This is true. Or in my pocket, because I have been known to this. Okay, normally it doesn't last long enough in my pocket to melt, but there have been times in my life when I'm just like pottering around the house, usually during the autumn, winter, or early spring, just for clarity, so it's not 25 degrees inside the house. But I'm pottering around the house in, you know, sort of my big cardigan, and one of the nice things about my big cardigan is that my big cardigan's got big pockets. And sometimes I'll just go to the fridge and be like, I'm going to need a snack later, so I will just decant some chocolate-covered raisins and just pop them into my pocket, and that's a fun treat for later. That's normal, right? Just to have chocolate-covered raisins in your cardigan pocket? Someday I'm going to be like the most cursed grandma. Oh no! I mean, I realize I have to be a mom first in order to be a grandma, but you know. Or a grandpa. Grandparent. Grandparent. Right. I don't know what to do. For the, should I just do a black outline for the, I feel like that would be the most visually impactful. I don't want to pick one of the colors of the rainbow for this bit. Shoot, I have to do the buy one first anyways. So, never mind. I don't have to think about Rainbow Pride yet because I haven't done this one. I gotta do this one first. Okay, let me bring up a photo of the Burn It Companion for myself. Which, it's such a cute name for a moth. I don't know why it's called the Burn It Companion, but I think that's real cute. I love that for them. I don't know. Maybe they're just very good friends. They're certainly very cute. And I love that. Oh, all of these pictures are hecking adorable. Okay, I'm gonna get myself some reference photos up here. Oh, hello. Oh, that's an interesting eye you've got there. That's an interesting eye you've got there. Okay, this is another one that's got like sort of a light colored eye with a little dot in the middle. So let me see if I can do that. I might steal a bit of this blue, but like water it right down. Just like a very light, watery amount of blue. Thusly. Aw, beans, it cute. It cute thus far. Okay, that's gonna need to dry. Hopefully that won't take too long to dry, even though it's incredibly humid. Please evaporate. Please evaporate. And then I can put a tiny little dot in the middle, and then I can do all of the line weight, which is probably, again, going to be purple. All the cute gay moths, says Samantha. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We love them. I might actually blot this just because there's, I think I put too much water down here, and it does want to be fairly light colored, this bit of it. Okay, that's such a pale blue, you can barely see it, but that'll do quite nicely. Now, I need to grab a little bit of pink, or if you prefer, pank. I'm gonna take some of that, some of this, combine them, and then, okay, this is terrifying because I have to do a tiny dot. Hope that it's tidy enough that it works. La. Panky hanky, says Samantha. Yes. Pank is like, how shall I explain pank? It's like pink, it's kind of like the prang of pink. It's like pink plus one. It's not just pink, it's pank, you know? That's how I conceive of pank, as opposed to pink. Iconic Fox, hello! How are you doing? Lovely to see you. Welcome on in. Hello, hello. Hope you're having a lovely day. I am Honestly, I think I'm gonna reuse this purple. Because purple works well here, I think. Purple is sort of the unifying mid hue the of the bi pride situation. Masterwork pink with a +1 enhancement bonus, says Samantha. Yes. Oh, what was I talking about with my moderator / spouse yesterday? We were talking about we were talking about how I like to. For some reason, he'd said that. Oh yes, I asked him if I had Tismriz, and he didn't know what that was. But then we started talking about charisma as a Dungeon Dragon feature, and the fact that he always makes charisma his dump stat. I have a character who's like very high in charisma, and that's real fun. Tismriz says Samantha. Yes, I love it. Thank you for that portmanteau. I will treasure it. Oh my goodness. Thank you. What was I saying? Charisma dump stat abomination, says Samantha. Okay, listen. Earlier in my Dungeons and Dragons journey, I created a character who I've played in a number of one-shots with some lovely, lovely people, and she is a warlock. She's a gnome warlock, and I love her so much. But here's the thing: when I created this character, I was like, I don't know what character I want to make. I just want to play like a class and species that I've never played in Dungeons and Dragons before. So I went to Fast Character, which is my favorite character creation website for when I don't want to have to make super granular decisions about the character I'm going to create. I'm going to leave it to the fates and just randomize one and see what I get. And then I can kind of dial down from there if there are certain features that I want to add or to, sort of modify. But oftentimes it's a good starting point for figuring out what's the dealio with a character. So I think I just did a randomize everything, and that's how I ended up with a gnome warlock. But it also randomizes your stats for you. You can choose to like select things and then have it randomize other things. But basically it's just a very, very fast way of creating a character sheet without having to manually input everything, right? So a very useful website. Do recommend Fast Character. Also, it's free, and I love that for me. And the options available are very wide-reaching. So yeah, definitely a useful site if you're trying to create a character. Anyways, so I created a gnome warlock, and I love her so much. She's incredible and amazing and wonderful. But I let it randomize all of the stats. And since I let it randomize all of the stats, it means I created a warlock. And for anyone who has played Dungeons & Dragons and knows things about warlock characters, I created a warlock who has a +0 to charisma. Which was not a choice. But if it was a choice, I guess to leave it like that was a choice, is an interesting choice. Given that a lot of the warlock's whole deal is charisma based. Better than a -1, I guess, says Samantha. That is true. That is true. For instance, there is a feature that you can gain which allows you to do the Eldritch Blast attack, but it's enhanced by adding your charisma modifier to it, so it's better. But when your charisma modifier is a whopping great +0, that doesn't do squat. And so it was just like, believe me, like she was still like a reasonably skilled warlock and could do some pretty cool stuff, but a +0 to charisma maketh things interesting. I am very intelligent. In my defense, I do not do any homework, reading, or research about any of these stuff, and I create my characters based solely on vibes, and if it so happens that they just end up being real bad at a thing, I consider that a fun part of their character. It's a feature, not a bug. I'm not here to min-max. I'm not here to, like, optimize my character for, like, the most powerful spell casting and the best attacks. My moderator slash spouse is home, but I'm having a rant. Etc., etc. I'm just here to vibe and have a fun time. I'm gonna quickly go say hi to my moderator slash spouse. I'll be back in just a minute. One moment, please. Darlin'! Welcome home. I love you. There's Pepsi in the fridge. And 23 more.
Oh, you put one in already.
Yes, I did say there's Pepsi in the fridge. Watch out for the melon. It's in the safety bag next to sparkling water. Don't stub your toe on it. I love you. Yeah, I know. Now you've got 2 Pepsis in the fridge. I love you. Stay hydrated. Hi, everyone. I'm back. Hello. Well, anyways, sorry to tangent us on into the beautiful land of Dungeons and Dragons, but not really. Yeah, fastcharacter.com is amazing. Ah, what the hell happened to my chat? Where did my chat go? Oh no, it's broken. Oh no, it's broken. I can't see my chat. Anyways, we are gonna have a BRB in like a minute, but in the meantime, there was a question from Samantha who says, cannot even remember if Agonizing Blast specifies a minimum bonus of 1 or not. Turns out it doesn't. It's just, yeah. Anyways, hi Mira, hello. Mira says, haven't heard of fastcharacter.com. It's neat. It really is neat. It's very fun for just like, I need to create a random character. Oh wow, some stuff just fell off this surface of its own volition because I haven't moved any of these things. I'm guessing the heat. Okay, that was weird and creepy. Anyways, Tals, thank you very much for the hydrate. I'm going to take a big ol' sip of my tea. I appreciate that very much. And I look forward to being a little bit more hydrated. That'll feel real good. Delightful. Oh, some people are playing in their back garden outside and they're being real loud. So hopefully they're done by the time our break is over. I'm going to do a little BRB now. Please have a stretch, have a hydrate. Hydrate so much, please, especially if it's hot where you are right now. Trust me, just drink a lot of fluids. Water, sports drink, tea, whatever. Just drink fluids, okay? Anyways, I'll be back in a minute. Enjoy the BRB stuff in the meantime. Enjoy the song, the screen, etc., etc. You won't miss anything. I'll be back very shortly. BRB! And we're back! Thank you for sticking around, everyone. I'm here. Say goodbye to BRB stuff because it's gone now. Hello. Anyways, it's time to crack open my Lucozade, which is lemon lime flavor. I happen to really like the lemon lime flavor for some reason. I think it's nice. I tend to find citrusy flavors more refreshing, or at least something that has that like backbone of acidity than like, because there's like a raspberry flavor of this sports drink as well, and I tried it once and I was like, no, it just wasn't refreshing in the same way for me, I think. Hey love, what's up? What's that? Oh shoot, did you not buy more of the bacon bitties that they only have at the big Tesco? Ah, crumbs. Well, we just placed a big order from the supermarket and it turns out we forgot a thing. That is, unfortunately, that's the thing that's not on my radar because it's something that I cannot eat because it contains an ingredient that I can't eat, so heck and shoot. Gosh darn it. Anyways, I was going to make a lentil salad for dinner tonight and I completely forgot to do it on my lunch because I guess I was preoccupied with, like, I don't know, the other business I had to attend to during the day. And I completely forgot to do it. I feel very silly about that. There we go. Yay! We have an eyeball. Hopefully it cute. I think it cute. I'm gonna pull up my reference again for this companion moth, which is they're very fluffy. Either this is a blurry photo or the moth is a very fluffy moth. Now I'm not sure. Anyways, I was thinking on break about how I don't know what I would do if I need to create another D&D character at some point. I don't know what I'd do for them. Because there's a lot of character classes that I've never really had a chance to like explore that I think would be really fun to. I've been a druid. I've been a warlock. I was a bard once very briefly, and I've been a sorcerer in an ongoing campaign. So there's a lot of other stuff that I haven't had a chance to do yet that I think would be quite fun. But I don't know what I'd want to do next. I don't know. I don't know. One thing that I do feel quite strongly about is the next, unless it's like somebody wants to do a one shot where the specific parameter is that all of the characters have to be short because it's relevant to the story in some way. Barring that, I really would like to be a character who's tall again. Because as you're probably aware, actually you might not be, because most of you haven't met me IRL. I'm very short. I am a very short little creature. And the first D&D character I ever created was a Firbolg who was 8 feet tall. So that was really fun to kind of play against type for me. But since then, all of my characters have been quite short. I was my warlock character is a gnome, of course, so she's real tittle. And I've also been a bard who was a water genasi. But this is one of my things about, I don't know if this has been sort of addressed in like the D&D sort of update version that they did like last year, because I haven't played anything more recent than 5e yet. But I've always found it a little bit of a that like you have characters like, you know, half elves and half orcs and genasi and that kind of thing that are of, you know, of mixed parentage when it comes to like species. So, you know, you have one parent who was an orc and one parent who was a human, or one parent who was an elf and one parent who was a human, and I'm like, okay, but hear me out. If you can have different fantasy species like reproduce with each other, why is one of them always a human? You know? So when I decided to create a genasi character for this one shot that I played, I put way more work into it than probably is necessary for a one shot, but here we are, it's me. And I was like, okay, what if genasi, but the non like elemental parent is a halfling? And so I had this, I did have to do a bit of like fudging about with the character sheet, just basically to make sure that I was giving myself, not unintentionally giving myself a character who, you know, has too many of the useful traits of like all of these things. So whatever like the advantage I had from like the human side of the character, I shuffled that out of the character sheet, but added in like, you know, sort of halfling stuff like, oh, I'm good at this, or, you know, like I have this feature because I'm very small. So the character was canonically, their height was a little bit tall for a halfling, but still quite short, is my point. And that was quite fun to do, as a character. And they had a rich and interesting backstory that really I didn't get to, over the course of 3 hours of doing like adventures and getting into combat. Weirdly enough, didn't really get to explore that much. So maybe someday I'll come back to doing something with that character, because they were really fun. But Samantha says, not addressed specifically, they just got rid of half X races entirely. Okay. Fox, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome on in. Thank you. Appreciate that. Samantha says, you can be of mixed heritage. Good. But you just choose one of the race's abilities and one of their appearances. Oh, interesting. Okay. That makes some sense. That simplifies things, certainly, I think. Because, as I say, I was having to, like, fudge a lot of stuff trying to figure out what how to create a balanced character out of choosing, like, you know, sort of changing one of the two parental origins of this Genasi character. So yeah, anyways. I enjoyed being a halfling Genasi. I think that's something that I would love to explore more of. Not necessarily just like that specifically, but like, you know, just, hey, who's to say that, like, you know, I don't know, a wood elf and, like, a dwarf have a baby. Why not? You know? Like, hey, Legolas and Gimli were pretty good friends. Just saying. We don't know for sure one of them couldn't get pregnant. Sammy answers, "Oh, you choose the black outline. I like. Thank you. Me too. I don't entirely know what to do with our Rainbow Pride little buddy at the bottom. I kind of feel like I want a little bit of line weight for the actual stripes because they feel a little bit incomplete. So I might actually apply a little bit of, like, color line weight to the stripes. Yeah, actually, I think I am going to do that. I think that will be good. I am going to quickly look up a picture of this moth just for my reference. Anyways, how's it going, Sammy? Yeah, it's lovely to see you. Welcome on in. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Okay, here's some oh, that's a cute picture. I will use this picture as a reference. Okay, cool. Anyways, there we go. Hey! They are all lovely, says Sammy. No, you are! And also thank you. I was very, very aware of the importance of doing these justice. And so I hope that I have. Samantha says, canonically, dwarf women in Middle-earth also have the beards. Exactly. So Gimli could absolutely be packing female reproductive organs under that armor. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Like, we don't know. Is it ever explicitly even if it is explicitly stated, like, what Gimli's, like, gender is, he could still get pregnant. We don't know. Are dwarf genders the same as human genders? No idea. Anyways, Sammy Ann says, maybe a sepia or brown. I've been here all along, she says. Just been quietly working away on projects. Oh, lovely. Thank you for co-working with us. I don't know. Knowing that people are arting along encourages me to actually get stuff done. It's like hacking my own brain as well as, like, a body doubling activity. Having an audience genuinely sometimes really helps me be productive. Despite all appearances, I swear it does, kind of. Sometimes I don't get anything done. But, you know, it's variable. Anywho, okay, I'm gonna try and do some figuring here, because I'm having some notions about how to do, because like I said, I want to kind of do some, like, line weight on the actual, like, stripes of this flag, because it feels, in which case I will confess to also be co-arting along, says Talls. Hell yeah! Thank you, friends. I hope that all of your artworks and stuff are going well. That's rad as heck. Okay. I'm going to attempt some stuff with this, I think, if I can. Okay, I'm going to cheat slightly with this yellow stripe, I think. If I can. There. Actually, I think that works pretty well. That's decent. Art Jam, says Sammy Ann. Hell yeah. Samantha says, in the D&D worlds I create, I always have the dwarves have no real concept of gender. They are just dwarf self. You know what? I love that. I love that so much. That's delightful. Not to repeat myself excessively, but gender, I hardly know her. Anyways. I amuse myself, and sometimes that's the most important thing of all. Even if no one in my dream recognized how funny my comedy goof was. And I do not remember the comedy goof now, but let me tell you, it was absolute heckin' comedy gold, damn it! And I feel mildly upset that no one around me recognized how flippin' funny I was being. And Samantha says, dwarves starting a meeting. So what's on the agenda today? The agenda today. The agenda. Yes. Thank you. I butchered that, but hey, sorry. Anyways, taking a sip of my beverage. Tastes like an active lifestyle. No, seriously. I like sports drink as a means of staying hydrated when it's really, really hot and I'm sweating a ton. I find it very useful for that. But it does specifically say on the bottle, drink this if you're an adult who trains or takes part in sport. Enjoy as part of a balanced diet and an active lifestyle. But you know, here's the thing. If it's hot as balls, you probably shouldn't be doing strenuous activity anyways, but you probably should be doing things to maintain your hydration levels. And you know what helps maintain your hydration levels in extreme hot environments? Electrolytes. You're sweating a ton, you probably want to get some electrolytes in because you're sweating out stuff. Not just water, but like salt also. You need that to live. Anyways. Other beverages are available. Sports drinks, says Samantha. Other beverages are available. I'm not... Listen, if these guys want to sponsor me, proud sponsor of this loafing layabout who barely exercises but enjoys our beverage and does art streams, I will give them all the publicity if they want to give me publicity money. Certainly, because I like this stuff. I genuinely do. I would endorse it if they paid me, but they're not. So, other sports drinks are available. Anyways. Sammy Ann says, why look, you are actively enjoying the lifestyle of drinking the drink. Absolutely, correct. I'm doing arm exercises right now by holding the bottle aloft. Samantha says, I have the sugary energy version of sports drink for when I'm feeling ill. Yes, and it's a good choice. It's a good choice for when you're feeling under the weather. Your body needs that stuff. Anyways, Sammy Ann says, I would enjoy the beverage more if they did that. Yeah, you know what, honestly, me too. Anyways, but it is genuinely, I do like to chug these on days when I feel like I'm gonna be sweaty. It really helps. And also if I am doing exercise, sports drink. They're very sweet. They're very sweet, but you know, hey. It's helping to replenish stuff that I've sweated out of my body, and that's a good. I am going to take a very cold shower before I go to bed tonight. I don't know what the weather's like where y'all are. I hope it's not as intolerably nasty as it is here. Because it is quite nasty. I have not been out in the sun today. I suspect if I had been out in the sun today, I would have a headache now. But thankfully, I have not. So, my head is... For the moment, I'm just going to touch wood. Actually, does veneer count? I'm touching a wooden skewer. I have declared war on the sun, says Samantha. I will listen. You have my sword, and my cast iron griddle pan, and I'm looking around to see if I have anything else that could pass for a weapon. Because I am absolutely here for declaring war on the sun. I do have a large inflatable balloon that looks like a giant Pocky, but I don't think it doesn't hit very hard. But it is very silly looking. It's like if you know what Pocky looks like, imagine that but huge. It's like a meter long. And it does say Pocky in big letters, and then share happiness, and then presumably share happiness again, but in Japanese. Yes, anywho. It's very moist here, says Casa. Oh no, that's not a pleasant word. for the way one feels. Sammy Ann says, we are in muggy season here. Oh, it's overcast, but when you walk out the door, you feel as if you're walking into a very warm, overly moist blanket. No, I hate that for you, Sammy Ann. It's disgusting. Samantha says, we have lived under the tyranny of the sky orb for far too long. Real talk. Like, I know I'm in the minority here, but my goodness, like, just sun exposure just makes me feel ill. It really does. I get a headache very easily, and it feels like my skin is burning. I do not find it pleasant in any way, shape, or form. It's very rare for it to be like, the sun's out, I'm enjoying this. It's usually like, the sun's out, run away. It's terrible. I would settle for either the end of the sky orb or the tabloid rag. I mean, both is good. ¿Por qué no los dos? Right? I just ran around watering all my plants, says Casa. We are not designed for this weather. Truly no. Truly no. Certainly, I think in general, the Britons, the Britons, of which I nominally count myself semi amongst, provisionally, kind of, to a degree, but still in that sort of nebulous, separated out, like, I will never fully be one of you, and people don't let me forget that, immigrant thing, where I still sometimes look at the British experience and have to be like, you people! Like, when it's a hot, sunny day and I encounter someone and they're like, oh, it's finally lovely, it's been just awful for months and now it's finally beautiful. And I'm like, no, it's too hot. And they're like, no, it's not, it's lovely. And I'm like, no. Okay, but for me specifically, it's too hot. And they're like, no, it's lovely. And I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, continue to tell me how I feel. Sometimes when people are like, wonderful day, isn't it? And it's, like, way too hot and I have, like, a humidity headache, I'm just like, I feel like I'm being gaslit. That's the feeling. I feel like I'm being gaslit. I know it's just people who have a different experience to mine, but it's like, I can't just nod along and be like, yeah, it's great, because then people will think that I enjoy it. That might have negative consequences for me later on in my life. When they remember the knowledge that, oh, they enjoy sunny days. Let's all go sit in the grass in the direct sunlight and have a picnic for 2 hours in direct sunlight. But I also don't want to be like a Debbie Downer or a negative Nancy. And when someone's like, oh, isn't it a lovely day? It's so beautiful. The sun's shining and it's nice and hot. I'm just going to go sit outside in the sun, get skin cancer and dehydrate myself horribly. Right? I'm going to have like distressingly dark colored pee because I've been drinking cider instead of something that actually hydrates you. I'm drinking a diuretic because I'm stupid. Anyways, sorry, that got away from me. My point being, if someone's having a nice time and enjoying themselves in the weather, I don't want to be like, oh, well, I think it's terrible and I'm having a horrible time. Because that's just going to make them feel awkward and uncomfortable. I don't know how to polite my way out of these situations without lying, and I don't want to lie because then they'll believe something incorrect about who I am. Anyways, I don't remember social interactions being as difficult as this when I lived in Canada. I don't know. Anyways. Yes. Let me catch up with chat, because I feel like I've missed many things that were being said. Sammy Ann says, sun is fine for me on a spring or fall day, where there are, oh yes, nice shady spaces in between. Summer sun can just, whatever. Yeah, I can do one, frankly. Plants and myself are both wilting, says Casa. Casa says, my heritage is Irish, Welsh, Scottish, and Scandinavian. None of that is designed for heat. Absolutely. That is the beautiful blend of Northern European that wants to never see the sun. Oh my goodness. The Britons, says Samantha. Some of history's worst villains. We have been historically terrible, says Casa. I think that's an important thing to acknowledge. Anyways. Cassa says, what I find funny is my stepdad complaining about the heat. Sir, you are Indian. You know, here's the thing, though. Now, never having been to any parts of India, I'm also aware of the fact that, like, the heat in the UK feels different to heat in the, like, equivalent temperatures in other locations. I have a friend who is, she's originally from Cyprus. And sometimes there the summer gets up to, like, 40 degrees, right? And according to my friend who's from Cyprus, lives in London, says that 40 degrees in Cyprus feels like 30 degrees in the UK. So I don't know, maybe it's the same for, like, parts of India. It's possible. But also, oh boy. I'm glad that I wasn't born into a hotter climate, because I would simply have moved to a colder climate, which is what I thought I was doing when I moved to the UK, and then I was like, wait a second, summer temperatures get up into the 30s? But that's what it does in Canada, and I hated that. Anyways, Sammy Ann says, my friend from a much warmer climate moved to Canada, and I can't see. No, where did the chat messages go? Okay, and oh no, hates the humidity. Oh jeez. They're like, it gets to be 45 degrees C, but it's dry where I'm from. This sucks. Yeah, the dry heat, you know, the dry heat absolutely makes all the difference. Like, I didn't feel that bad when I was in, I once spent a couple weeks in Southern California in the summertime, but it was a dry heat, and it was a lot less horrid. I thought I was going to be suffering hard, and honestly, like, it was mostly okay, actually. Like, it was alright. Casa has wrapped presents. Congratulations on getting the thing done. I have nearly entirely packed, apart from a few bits that need doing tomorrow. Nice, good job. Congratulations. You should feel very proud. Isn't India also quite a humid heat, though? That is the thing. Because that is the thing that makes the UK heat worse. That is true, though. I honestly don't know. I don't type well with a pencil in hand, says Sammy Ann. It's fine, don't worry about it. Time to cook food, says Casa. Hell yeah. Joe is here, you says, UK homes are built to retain heat. Stupid. My meds make me more susceptible to heat. Oh no. It's about 45 C right now, according to my brain. Oh, Joe, I'm so sorry. And also, yes, again, something to be aware of. If you are taking medication, there are some medications which increase your heat sensitivity, in which case, oh my god, please make sure you're hydrating even more. Please, please, please. Also, consider running an electric fan even though you're streaming and you can probably hear the noise on the mic. And again, I am very sorry about that. Bring back rainy summers. Good UK weather, says Joe. Yes, those are the summers I moved here for. I was promised nice summer rain. That's what I want. With just enough, like, pleasantly mild days in between to go on a lovely little picnic with bags of lettuce and lashings of ginger beer. That's what I wanted. I think India is a very regional on heat, says Cass, a big place. Absolutely. Just thinking of the various, like, the various regions and climates that I can think of. I can imagine that there are some areas where it's definitely more of a dry heat and some areas where it's definitely more of a humid heat. And definitely some areas where they probably get at least a little bit of a nice coastal breeze. Because there is also a lot of coastline. But I think it probably just depends where you are. But it probably is also pretty hot and sweaty. Oh, that's what that is, says Sammy Ann. It's kind of soothing. Oh, good. Well, at least it's soothing. I was genuinely so worried. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. I was so worried when I started stream because I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to cope in the room without any kind of air circulation. Thank you for the blessings and the Gesundheits. I appreciate it. Very much I do. I genuinely didn't think I was going to be able to survive without some kind of air circulation in here because, again, hot as balls. So I'm very grateful that folks don't seem to mind that there is a little bit of a background sound today. I do appreciate your patience. And once again, once we are into a weather situation where it's not quite so dire, I won't need to have that. Those are the cutest sneezes. I wake the dead with mine. I do try. I mean, I didn't I don't know. That's just the sound that they made this time. But sometimes my sneezes be worse. But I think most of the time they sound kind of like that. I don't know. Anyways, okay. I was gonna say I'm having a little bit of a chest pain situation, but actually, I don't think it's my chest. I think it's my tummy just under my chest. So I don't think I have to worry. I just have to be cognizant of the fact that I'm having some pains. So we probably won't go on too much longer, but I would like to at least finish this. I know we didn't get to start our secondary Pride Moth art, but you know what? If I don't get to paint the Pride Moth art until Monday, that gives me time to figure out what the background of the Pride Moth art will be. Because I tell you what, I hadn't figured that out. I mean, I know they're supposed to be at a parade, but I hadn't really thought about where is the parade. Is it in an enchanted forest or is it in the city? Because they've visited both locations. They travel around a lot, these two. But I love them. I hope they're having a wonderful Pride. They're in love, by the way, just FYI. They've been dating for a couple of years now. You know, maybe... Oh gosh. They might get married at some point. I don't know. I don't want them to rush into anything they're not ready for, of course, but you know, I think they seem pretty committed to each other. These two little Mothmens. This is a very normal thing that I have done. I don't know, sometimes I feel like I should really just work out like the unifying like lore of my little like artistic world and its cast of characters, because to be honest, I don't really know. And Mr. Dressup is done! Huzzah! Yay! Oh my god, chat, did I ever tell y'all the story about Mr. Dressup? Did I ever tell the Mr. Dressup story on stream? I don't think I have. Sorry, Sammy Ann has just reminded me because she mentioned Mr. Dressup. Okay, so here's the situation. Canada. A beautiful country. A land of many things, including, but not limited to, a classic TV program that ran for decades called Mr. Dressup, starring the eponymous Mr. Dressup, played by a man named Ernie Coombs. And I grew up watching Mr. Dressup, and Mr. Dressup was on for so long that not only did I grow up watching Mr. Dressup, but my dad also grew up watching Mr. Dressup when he was a little boy. But this is not a story about when my dad was a little boy. This is a story about when my dad was a teenager. When my dad was a teenager, he had friends. Which is really nice, and I love that for him. You know, he's a lovely man with lots of interests. He was in a band for a while. He played guitar, and he had lots of buddies and wild times. It was, you know, it was the 60s. Things were wacky back then. Anyways, he was, as a, you know, sort of a mid-range teen, maybe like 15, 16 years old. I don't know. He was visiting a friend's house with a couple of other friends. So there was like a group of friends over at this friend's house, right? And they're hanging out at the friend's house in like the living room, I guess. And in walks the friend's dad, who's just come home. The friend's dad was a man named Ernie Coombs. And he sits down in, like, you know, sort of the easy chair on the other side of the living room. He has himself, you know, like a cup of tea or something, and lights up a pipe and sits and reads a book or the newspaper. I don't remember, but anyways, he's just sitting quietly reading while the kids are having their hangout on the other side of the room. And all of those like super cool kid, teenage, like 16-year-old boys who are way too cool for like kids TV and stuff are all just like, oh my god, how come you never told us that your dad is Mr. Dressup? What the hell? Oh my god! Just absolutely freaking out. starstruck because their friend's dad is TV's Mr. Dress-Up, which, you know, in fairness, like, you super would, because, like, that man is amazing and a superstar and a lovely dad, apparently. But, like, and he's just, like, sitting quietly, like, you know, reading the paper and having a nice, you know, sort of, just, you know, smoking a pipe, doing dad things. Meanwhile, all of these, like, cool kid teenage boys are trying super hard not to, like, absolutely freak out that they're hanging out at Mr. Dress-Up's house. That is awesome. So Sammy and I'm freaking out. It was, like, that is one of my favorite dad stories because, like, oh my god. Oh my god. Like, honestly, that's cooler than the fact that my dad saw Jimi Hendrix live. Like, it's cool that my dad saw Jimi Hendrix live, but it is cooler that my dad hung out at Mr. Dress-Up's house because he was friends with Mr. Dress-Up's son. That's cool. Anyways, so, yeah. That's the story of the time that my dad hung out with his Dress-Up. That is awesome. Says tall's definitely cooler. Sammy Ann says find the Canadian in the room. Mr. Dress-Up was lovely. It was a lovely show. One of the things I actually really appreciate about the show is that there were these, there were, like, secondary characters that Mr. Dress-Up would interact with. These two puppets named Casey and Finnegan. Casey was a little child and Finnegan was a dog. And I'm fairly sure that it was never explicitly stated whether Casey was a boy or a girl. Casey was just Casey, and I don't think it was like, oh, Casey's non-binary. It was more just like, Casey is just a character that, like, any child can relate to, so it doesn't matter. Casey's just a child, and that was it. And I always appreciated that. And Casey and Finnegan were the heckin' cutest as well. Casey was never gendered, says Sammy. And yeah, exactly, which, again, super cool. An early example, I think, in, you know, like, 20th century Canadian media I guess non-beanie representation potentially, or, you know, at least open to interpretation. Like, you know, if you saw Casey and you were like, I think Casey's a girl, then sure, Casey's a girl. If you think Casey's a boy, then Casey's a boy. If it doesn't cross your mind at all, then Casey is a non-beanie child. You know, it's all good. I love that. I think that's great. I think that I think, you know, that came from a time when really I think the aggressive gendering of a lot of children's media kind of really hit its stride as I was growing up in, like, the 80s. It, like, everything felt intensely gendered. It's like, you know, like, He-Man is not for me, but She-Ra is, because, you know, I'm AFAB. But that always kind of bothered me as a child. I'm like, I don't like that I have to default like the girl thing, you know? Maybe I do like the boy thing. And I had an older brother who's, like, 4 or 5 years older than me as well, which I think maybe influenced that, also. That I did, you know, play with, like, the hand-me-down boy toys sometimes, but it was like, I'm not supposed to like this, though, but tough. Anyways. Okay, so Lawrence, Sammy Ann is quoting for us here. Lawrence, Casey's creator and puppeteer, remarked that Casey was a character that both boys and girls could relate to, and stated in the film that whenever she was asked if Casey was a boy or a girl, she would just answer yes. Is the right answer. I love that so much. I love some of the new She-Ra is great, though, says Samantha. I haven't seen all of the new She-Ra, but I did see some of the new She-Ra. And I agree. 'Twas great. Hell yeah. Okay. Just having some thinky thoughts on how to finish this up. And my thinking, I don't know if this is going to be weird. So this eye needs like a color and then a dot. So I think what I'm going to do is do like Can I do like a lighter brownish here? Okay, I will maybe darken that down just a little bit, but I'm gonna add... Oh, I just fully blotted all of that away. Never mind. That brown was a little bit too grayish, so I've added in a slightly warmer brown, which I think will be helpful here. Okay. Okay. Actually, ooh, okay. I think that'll work, because I need to do a little circle in the middle of this one as well. So, let that dry for a second. And in the meantime, I might do, how shall I do this? I've returned with food, says Casa. Hooray! Welcome back. Welcome, welcome. Okay, I'm gonna get my... Basically, what I'm trying to do here is kind of include... So, you know, there's like the rainbow pride flag that's just like the 6-stripe rainbow. And then there's the rainbow pride flag that has like the little sort of triangular insert that also has like the brown and black stripe and also like the trans pride stripes and stuff. So I'm trying to kind of like subtly also include that here. So like the eye is going to be the colors of like the brown and black stripes. And then if I do like pink, like a nice deep pink maybe for the legs and the antenna, and then I do the body outline in blue, I think that will do... I think that will work. I think that will look cute. I hope it looks cute. I hope it's cute. It needs to be cute. It's important. It's very important to me that it's cute. Alright, so I'm going to circle back to my little pink blob here, but I'm going to make it a little bit more vibrant, just because we are doing some line weight, and I want to make sure that the line weight is nice and visible and vibes well with the other sort of colors of the piece. So, hell yeah. Okay, I think that works really well. Cass is back with food. Yay! I hope your food is delicious. I hope it's delicious. Truly, I do. I think I mentioned earlier, I was supposed to make a lentil salad today, but I goofed. Because I was supposed to make it over lunch and then let it, like, marinate in the meantime, and I absolutely dropped the ball on that and did not get it on to marinate at lunchtime. Ergo, I am now in a situation where I don't have a lentil salad. Therefore, I am making tomorrow's dinner tonight, and I'm making tomorrow's dinner will be tonight's dinner. Does that make... I hope that makes some amount of sense. I think it do. I think it do. But yeah. So instead, I am going to be steaming some potatoes and some cod and having that. So, yay. Oh no, this is off screen. You can't see it. Heck. This is the problem with these long paintings, is they don't always fully fit under the camera. So, oops. Anyways, okay, I'm just going to pick up some neutral tint. Neutral tint. Thus. And then, oh, there was a little drop of water. Food is good. Hail, Satan. Mmm, deliciousness. It's one of my favorite things about veggie food. Oh, no, it's so cute. One of my favorite things about, like, veggie food stuffs is, Hail, Satan. Because it sounds silly to say. Okay. Y'all. Is it cute? I've lost my voice, but I think maybe it cute. I'm happy with that little guy. I hope you like this little guy. I think they are. And also please note that the body of this moth is iridescent and shimmery, which is very important to me. Because I couldn't let Pride Month go without incorporating some kind of glitter. It felt like, it felt like it needed to be done. Anyways. Yum. Okay. And on that note, friends, I think I'm going to call it there for today because I've just seen the time and I do need to go cook us some food. Also, I can see that if I stay on for any more minutes, it's going to it's going to force an ad break, and I don't want y'all to have to sit through another ad break. So I'd rather send you on to someone else cool, and then I will go cook my dinner. So, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It's been so much fun. Thank you for putting up with the fan sound as well. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Let's go say hello to... Okay, I think I know who we will raid, because I don't think I've raided them in a wee while. So let me just make sure that they're not just about to end. But I will be back tomorrow morning playing some Hollow Knight. Are you surprised that I will be playing Hollow Knight? Probably not. But that's what I'm going to be doing, so... So there you have it. Which, again, I think is probably one of the most predictable things I could conceivably be doing. But, there we go. This is taking a real long time. Oh no, please don't be broken. Please don't be broken. Okay, it's not broken. Anyways, we haven't raided Band in a while, and he's a cool dude and a good egg and doing some really neat ink-based stuff right now. So let's go say hi to Band. And I will thank you all for hanging out. Thank you for all of the moth emotes in chat. Would love to see it. I'm going to pop a generic raid message in, and you know what? If you have the moth emote, feel free to grab the emotes. If you do not have the emotes, you could just... Who did that? Who did that? Mira, thank you so much for the kiwi plaps and the stream scalp massage. Oh my god, you have no idea how good that feels right now. I needed it. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, if you have the emotes, feel free to grab the emotes. If you don't have the emotes, you can just say generic raid message or append any cool emotes that you do have. It's all good. We're going to go say hi to Band. Feel free to follow along. I'll be back on Friday morning, tomorrow, playing some Hollow Knight. Probably tying up some loose ends, maybe finishing this run through, and we can do something else next month. I don't know. Anyways, in the meantime, thank you so much for hanging out. You're all breathtaking. Take care, everyone. Have a lovely evening. Thank you so much for watching. Good night. And good luck.